Doing something for the first time is wild. And when you think of the outdoors, it's inherently wild. I think the most important thing for me is sharing an activity, sharing what I love with people that have not experienced that or have some kind of barrier related to it. The magic of being able to create that bond, that connection with an activity, a person, a place, that's special.
Ready to go. Well, welcome in, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Sincerely Yours Outdoors. Man, we back together. It's been a little bit of time. I feel like we're in the grail period with everything outdoor related that we're interested in.
Yep.
How you feeling, my man?
It's been good. Feeling great. Yeah, as you mentioned, it's kind of like the summation of pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the dog days of the summer that are waning and then pushing right into fall. So like we're really in the sweet time of like a lot of the interests that you have, a lot of the outdoor and recreation interests that I have, like now being like a really great and keen time for training, preparation, and exploration and being outdoors. So all is good.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Things are great. Similar to you, I feel like it's the overlapping circles, like peeling back the onion of like stuff I care about, stuff Pittsburgh cares about, and stuff nationally people care about, all formed into one over this month, partially because of the Olympics and then partially because it's just starting to cool down a little bit. People are excited to get out and travel. Fall is like right around the corner, and I think I turn up the knob a little bit when it gets fall. So yeah, all things are great. I'm super excited to chat about everything today. And
Yeah. Labor Day's 3 weeks. That's like the marker of fall.
yeah.
3 weeks, yeah.
And the kiddies are back in school. I always
Yeah.
I always think about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That ramps up your world.
Yeah.
From a profession standpoint, yeah. So for sure.
Definitely. Well, we are back at Field Day again. Not on the rooftop today. For a few different reasons. We expected that the hurricane would be passing through and reserved a cafe spot, but ultimately no hurricane torrential downpours quite yet. But we are in the cafe at Field Day, kicking it, enjoying some time, and a little bit of tea for me.
Mm-hmm.
But happy to be back in what feels like home base for us.
Yeah.
No pun intended for
Yeah.
Field Day.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what you been up to? What you been reading? What you been consuming? I know the normal vibes for us, but
Still closing out 4,000 weeks. I'm kind of like in the final stages of that. So closing that out, which will likely occur this weekend. From there, I'm on the hunt for my next book. So Barnes & Noble will be probably my trek this weekend, checking out to see what books I can get into next. I'm really in this like different season of life. Occupationally, I started a new role you're very much familiar with. So really trying to lean into continuing to grow and learn as much as I can, but just in a different kind of way from a people management standpoint. So I'll probably be moving and merging into that lane. What am I listening to at this stage? Been really getting into some of the most recent drops as of note. JPEG Mafia for me, jumped into that over the past couple of days. The latest tracks that Drake drops, which aren't on Apple Music, but nonetheless, we got the plug. So shout out to the plug. You know who you are for those tracks. And yeah, that's largely what I've been listening to as of recently. What about you?
Nice, right on. Reading wise, I'm just going through a few different guidebooks at the moment, preparing for the next kind of stint of travel, which has been cool. Looking at all the topographic maps and route planning and all this jazz. So that's been the reading for me, but it's been cool. Had 2 different iterations of guidebooks, so I'm getting some of the old information and then some of the new, which has been interesting to consume that, understand the environmental impact that has occurred, and really prepare for any scenario, which has been fun. Music-wise, what am I listening to? A mix of a few things. The Bad Bad Not Good album came out, which is alternative music I thought was pretty fun and exciting that I've been listening to. Leon Thomas single came out today, which was a vibe. Been
Long overdue. Underrated.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I've been spending aside from DJ sets and whatnot. I would say the past 2 weeks of music for me hasn't really seen a high point. I keep sharing out all the Maja Jordan DJ mixes that have been coming out, or singles, which have been super exciting, and I'm a huge fan of Majid. So that's been my musical take. I did actually watch a Netflix film that I was like, oh, I got to share this, because I was super excited with an interesting story around mountaineering. Have you seen the previews of, I think it's called Mountain Mama?
Yes.
Yeah. Linkbe Sherpa is the woman from Nepal who transitioned and lived in Hartford, Connecticut for a little bit of time. Nonetheless, amazing story. First Nepalese woman to ever summit Everest. That's 1 feat. She also was able to successfully lead her a subsection of her family to summit Everest, which is another feat that she's known for. And then she is the only woman to summit Everest 10 times. Aside from that, it's an amazing story.
There's more.
in itself. She also summited K2, which like in itself, mountaineering world Everest is really impressive in its own feat, because Death Zone, tallest mountain in the world. K2 is more technical of a climb. She summited K2, amazing. But the documentary is really impressive in regards to storytelling. I think that it's probably the most, I wouldn't say most, because I think someone else may have the most proactive and kind of intentional storytelling documentary. But nonetheless, it goes beyond the world of mountaineering, really centers around her story, some trauma that she's been through, personal development. But I think just from seeing it, it really displays the power of women and hopefully the intentionality of them connecting to mountains and climbing and experiencing the love and the call for nature. She has some amazing kind of one-liners that I think sum it up very well, that I hope I could nudge people to watch that film. It's on Netflix. Everyone has Netflix. I got Netflix just to watch it. So I can say that my $18 was well worth it.
$18 for Netflix now?
It's like
it doesn't have
it's
my
like
bank
17 something.
It doesn't have my personal bank account, but
definitely worth. Yeah, definitely. If you're going to a movie, it's pretty much the same.
Sure. That's cost savings.
Yeah, so I would definitely encourage people to check it out. I loved it. Probably one of the more impressive documentary films. There's some others that I think were really incredible, but from an individual that's underrepresented, the main focal point, the storytelling, the through lines, amazing. And I can also say, just from looking at cameras and kind of being behind the camera now, in a certain perspective, I was like, oh my God, some of these shots are absolutely incredible. Some of the grading is incredible, all of this stuff. Whoever actually put the film together from a production standpoint, oh my gosh, it's incredible. So yeah, if you have a chance, you got an hour and 40 minutes, check it out. Would definitely recommend it.
I saw the preview as I was kind of going through my preview on Netflix. I saw the preview, but I hadn't clicked on it yet, so I got to get to it. Yeah. For that.
Not to continue to harp on it, but I would say,
keep going.
Yeah, I was not to, but I'm going to anyways. Oh my gosh, stories like hers and what she shared visually and just auditory and the intentionality around the storytelling is exactly what got me excited about everything outdoors. Okay. It's less about the fact that she's the first woman to summit Everest 10 times. It's more about the fact that she's so connected to a mountain as a Nepalese woman and understands that some of the trauma that she's been through in her life is exactly what's driving her up to the mountain. And it's a playground that we all have access to or have the ability to access, whether it be doing grandiose things like Everest or just going out in your backyard and like being playful.
Yeah.
That's what she found in the mountains, and it's like, wow, that's so beautiful to tell. And I hope that people, again, just have an opportunity to see that. And maybe it's not a resounding moment that you're like, oh, I'm just going to step outside and go. It's not asking you to mountaineer or rock climb or do any of these things, but like, if you want to visually see what the outdoors can be for someone, that's it.
Solid.
So
That's awesome. I'll have to spin to it. You've charged me.
yeah.
You've charged me
So
to
Netflix,
click on it.
Yeah, Netflix. This is not an ad, but
Yeah. But if you want to pay for some of this,
yeah. So
we'll take some ad placement for that. Nice. That's awesome. I'll have to spin to that for the upcoming. Of course, the Olympics have taken all of my bandwidth and my time over the past bit of time. But spinning back to music, your thoughts on Vultures 2? I got some energy for this, so I want to hear what you got.
Okay, I would say probably 2 out of the 11 songs, 12 songs?
Yeah, somewhere around there. I think it's like 11 or 12.
2 out of the 11 I'm listening to. There's just too much unfinished stuff.
I'm big mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfinished.
Yeah.
Don't give us unfinished product.
I mean, what is it? The opening song in Field Day. Again, Field Trip.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, it
Those
goes,
are the two that you'll
where
spin
we
back
are.
to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's others that have incredible beats, and I think if they were finished, I'd be like, oh my God, these are incredible. But like, I don't want to hear people mumbling on the song.
I'm mad, man. I'm so mad. Yeah, it's unfinished work. And for Kanye to be an artist that's like maniacal around details and production and finished products, and he just gave us what wasn't ready.
Yeah.
It was like, and I don't feel bad saying that because there's literally verses where it's just mumbling, and there's literally unfinished switches and transitions, and it's like the production isn't done.
Yeah.
But why did you do this? Why did you give it to us for that? So that's my energy for Vultures 2 because I think there were some features that were squandered. There was some production that was missed. There was an opportunity that was missed. This could have been like a sequel to Vultures 1, which I thought was a really great album.
Yeah.
That's my take on Vultures 2. Yeah. Nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, what's on your radar for the outdoor news segment? Like, what's going on? Hopefully, no vultures involved. In that process,
there's no vultures involved in this. Outdoor news. What I saw, what was just most recent for an update was TRE, the running show for pretty much our trade show for the running industry. Was announced for an extension. 2025 has been announced for San Antonio. The upcoming is in November for 2024 in Austin, I think. But I found that to be really interesting because trade shows are kind of dying. So to see an extension in that kind of way was really unique for me. Additionally, for the press release was a acknowledgement more largely that TRE is kind of like not shifting, but really focusing on all forms of movement, not just running, which I think is really exceptional for the industry to be more open with walking, with jogging, with running, with whatever, like however you're moving, being that running is like a vehicle for so many other sports inherently and movement as well. So I found that to be refreshing for an acknowledgement in that, but also announcing for the trade show to follow. So continuation in some sense, as you've highlighted the ebbs and flows of trade shows and other industries. It's well documented and well known, the dissolving of some trade shows throughout the outdoor recreation industry and space as well. So to see just another year commitment, I thought was really cool to see. So shout out to TRE. I know very many individuals and ambassadors and representatives from brands and whatnot that are going to be there. So shout out to you all. I think we tried to make it last year for TRE for 2023. Maybe we'll aim for 2025, being that it's in November. 2024 is a little too close for us, but perhaps we'll see you there in San Antonio 2025. So yeah, that's my update.
Right on.
Yeah. What do you have for us?
A few things.
Okay.
I wanted to roll a carpet out for all of the underrepresented groups that are putting together climbing festivals this
Cool.
year.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'll wave our flag first. The Outdoor Inclusion Coalition is putting together a climbing festival the first weekend of November. Yeah. But with that being said, I did want to shout out Blackout Fest. That's going to be going on late October, early November. That's going to be in Chattanooga, Tennessee. For those who are looking for a climbing community, Boulder specific, hit them up, chat with them. I know some of the homies. Ron's going to be there from Lemur Mountaineering.
The guy.
Passing out some goods if you want to check them out. So that's one.
That'd be a great.
Yeah.
We
That's
should
one.
also put Lemert in our show notes.
Oh yeah.
So that people can check Lemert out.
Yeah, for sure. That's the homie.
Yeah.
That's the homie right there.
Yep. Check the show notes.
So that's one festival that's going on. I also wanted to shout out Climb Smart, Joshua Tree, Kenji Huanatu, amazing individual, is assisting. He's on the board, I think, for Climb Smart. Nonetheless, that festival is going to be going on in December, which is like a perfect time to go to Joshua Tree in California and climb. That event is all inclusive as well. So if you sign up and pay the registration fee, you get a campground in Joshua Tree National Park. You get food, you get climbing, you get clinics, you get just a laundry list of stuff. So I would definitely recommend those two. There's others going on, like Kraken Classic will be, 3 different locations, New River Gorge. I don't remember the others, but they'll be up and running very soon, and that'll be pretty much through the year. And then always being on the lookout for Salt Lake Climbing Festival. There's others that are going to be going on with International Climbers Festival. I don't have any direct affiliation with them or know anyone directly managing those events. But just wanted to shout them out. At some point along your journey in climbing, there's one of 11, 12, 13, 14 festivals that go on that I'm sure you can find a space that maybe fits your interest. So that's one thing I wanted to share. The other is more local or close to home in regards to Pennsylvania. There is a bike packing race that's going to be going on in Pennsylvania.
Where?
In the Endless Mountain region. So for us, that's northeastern Pennsylvania. It starts in Towanda, PA, which is, again, a very small town, but starts September 21st, and it's self-paced. It's called a race, but they're not promoting it in regards to you're winning a medal for first. It's not that type of thing. It's self-paced. There's support stations set up, and I'm super interested in it for a few different reasons, because it's a really interesting space in PA where you get over 60% on actual gravel, which is very hard to find. I mean, if you think of the Gap Trail, it's paved or crushed limestone. So to me, I don't classify that as gravel. Okay. This is actually loose gravel, which is exciting. So the mileage counts are also really exciting as well. So there's a 250 and a 430. Okay. So definitely eat your Wheaties for whatever one you sign up for. Yeah. But again, it's self-paced, so you could take a week if you want. Yeah. Obviously, the intention is not to knock out 230 in 48 hours unless that's your jam. Yeah. If that's the case, then you probably signed up for the wrong event. Yeah. That's how I think of it. Yeah. But check that out. I think it'll be really fun, and it's free. That's one of the biggest things. So it's a new event. It's free. You can already check the route, I think, on Ride GPS for anyone who has Strava or any kind of GPS satellite device for their riding. So a lot of cool stuff going on in that region, and it's accessible, at least financially. And on the OIC side of things, professionally, if you need any kind of gear for bike packing specifically, we got you, and we can support through scholarship or pay what you can model. So I thought that was really exciting. It just was announced a few weeks ago, so I wanted to make sure for those in PA or DC, Maryland, Virginia, or if you want to fly in, like that's cool too.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff to do.
Solid.
Philly as well. Like Philly, that's a super close drive for those individuals. So
Nice. We got some resource sharing. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah. So
Unintentional.
yeah.
So glad when that works.
Well, they shared it with me, and I was like, I might actually sign up. So,
Oh, nice. Okay.
I was like,
Nice.
thanks. Thanks for sharing. And I'll share it more broadly because I think this is a really cool opportunity for those who trying to hit some gravel. Or, yeah, I mean, if I sign up, I'm more than happy to just boondock with people and we can ride, we can hang out, we can chill. Someone else can pace it out. I'm cool, I'm cool with that
Solid.
too. So, yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. We can throw all that stuff in the show notes.
Yeah, for
People
sure.
can connect.
I'll add the
if you're
links and
interested.
everything
Yeah.
for sure. So, I mean, with that, let's transition into Olympics. I could talk about road cycling and everything that was super amazing to see the U.S. women,
Yep.
Faulkner, I believe,
Yep.
take gold.
Huge.
But what are some moments from the Olympics that you want to speak on? I got some things I'm excited to chat about.
I got like a top 5 list.
Okay, before you start, I do want to walk one back.
Please
I think it's okay to say.
spin back to the last time we were here because
Okay.
Marius was talking that talk and I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I can't. Okay, I'll be.
I'll create the floor for you to say you're sorry.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll just come out and say it. I'm sorry about being so confident in our 3-on-3 basketball skills. I can't just leave it at that, even though I want to. But,
You gotta say more.
yeah. I can say the women did win bronze, which is that's a medal.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah, I was feeling.
You were talking that big talk.
I thought that we were gonna mop people. I really felt like we had it.
Yeah, you did.
But I can say the women, we were missing one of our superstar athletes. I watched a few games and saw a center out there shooting threes and was like, this might not be the year.
It wasn't.
It was not.
It was for bronze. It was the year for bronze.
Yeah. I watched the men's and thought Jimmer Fredette was still Jimmer Fredette from BYU days.
Time is unforgiving, my friend.
Not him anymore.
Dog, that was like 12 years ago.
I was like, oh,
13 years ago.
man, he's about to go and light it up. Yeah, he was suffering from some foul trouble in a lot of games, unfortunately. But
You gotta move those puppies.
yeah, slide those puppies. But I'll just leave it at that. So nonetheless, again, sorry for coming out so
Maybe
hot.
during that
3-on-3.
soliloquy, we can just play like slow piano music
Yeah.
over there.
But I can't say a lot of all my other takes were like actually spot on.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
were, but that one
yeah,
was
we
just
could-
so
we could-
off, though.
yeah,
that was just.
that one
It was
was
kind of like a net even.
way off. Oh yeah, that one hurt.
That was tough.
I was watching it and it was like, you know, the kid that's like crying in the rain and his like face is pressed up against the glass and you're like, bro, this can't be it.
Oh, it was it.
That was after the first game. I was like, this can't be real,
It was real.
and it didn't.
It was for
it
sure
didn't
real.
go back uphill. So, anyways,
On the other side of things, let's talk about impressive performances before we talk about like highs,
Yeah.
like what we loved about the Olympics in further detail. You mentioned you were right, and you were right about Katie Ledecky. That's no surprise.
Yeah.
She was crushing it.
Incredible.
I think her performance was the most impressive performance for me. Yeah, her margin of victory was impressive. Competing against the best athletes in the world and to have the margin of victory that she had really speaks to, her talent and the work that she's put in and the ability to perform on that level at that point in time. So, in my opinion, her performance throughout the Olympics, throughout her events, and throughout her sport and domain was the most impressive for me. So we can start there for performances that impressed me throughout. I know you have some of note that you wanted to share as well, but I'll stick to just her, and then we'll build in some of my my top moments of the Olympics, track and field related.
yeah, I would say for me, to no surprise, Sydney McLaughlin,
Yeah,
amazing. She set her own personal record. Well, she set the Olympic record, aka her own personal record, 6 times, I believe.
yeah,
Impressive in itself.
yep.
and she just continues to dominate.
Yep.
I mean, Anna Cockrell, amazing. Shout out to Charlotte. Amazing for silver. But even the gap between her and the next best is just so wide, similar to what you said in regards to Katie Ledecky. So I found that really impressive. And then Sam Watson for speed climbing broke the Olympic record. Unfortunately, did not win gold, won bronze, but that's just speed climbing in itself as a sport, but it's very hard.
Yep.
Every race is, having to be gold medal status every time because semifinals and just the competition bracket. So, very interesting stats in regards to like some funny comparisons in regards to Sam Watson and what you could do in the amount of time that in the amount of time it would take him to climb a wall, you could do blank. Like it was a lot of funny things. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So I can say that those two feats were extremely impressive. I think there's others too that I didn't take note of, but I will say I think the USA men's basketball win over Serbia also won extremely impressive.
Yeah,
that was special to watch. Just being able to like kind of sit at the edge of your seat and think that the USA was going to be out of the title game. That was kind of stressful, but them to pull it through, and especially the individuals that pulled it through. While it was a team collaborative effort, like LeBron, Steph, KD carrying the team.
Old guard.
Yeah, oh man, LeBron with gray hairs in his beard, putting the team. Yeah, different. And Kevin Durant. Oh man,
easy money.
Well, I think he had like
Slim Reaper
7 or 9 in the game, but I think some of the moments like that he delivered down the stretch. Especially the big three, knocking one down with like 2 or 3 minutes left. And then obviously Steph coming off a pin down, just done. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I would say those on top. There's some others that I'm sure I'll like remember, but like.
Yeah, we could talk for days just about, those at large. You mentioned one thing that I think has been unique for, of course, there's been additions of sports for the Olympics this year, but what I think has been unique for this year, especially, has been the influx of social media engagement and the impact that it's had on sports that otherwise would not get any play. You mentioned speed climbing. I saw air pistol with my my guy. That's like now becoming, it's like through the roof. Kayaking. Sport climbing. I watched sport climbing throughout. I saw that on social media.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, that was like unbelievable. So just to see the way that's going to play within like garnering interest and just like sparking curiosity. I think it's long documented, the love-hate relationship that I have with social media at certain points in times, but for feeding curiosity, I think it's going to be incredible for, I hate to say like niche sports, but like sports that people aren't typically participating in a broad sense. I think the same thing is going to remain true for breakdancing as well. We're going to see some residual impact of social media engagement and people feeling more free to express themselves through dance in that capacity, or even just like sparking their curiosity to go and try it for the first time. So the long roundabout way of saying the way in which social media is impacting sports I think is going to be huge. And what we're going to see from this is going to be 2 and 3 and 4-fold for seasons to come. And I feel like that has to excite you for climbing, especially.
Yeah. Climbing. I'm so glad that you had a good time watching it, because like
it was awesome. That was my second. It's kind of unjust and unfair for me, because I've seen 3 sport climbing events, 2 just like at local gyms, and then the third being 2 days of the semifinal and the final of sport climbing. It's like, okay, this is kind of unfair to compare these experiences, but to see it in action and to see how things work, even like Lexi and I just sitting on the couch, she was asking a lot of questions, some of which I had the answers to, some of which I didn't, but just like to have that moment of just like curiosity of like, what is this and what does this mean? And like interpreting scoring and interpreting like solving problems and things of that nature was like cool. So to think that
Yeah.
that's happening like in my household and also happening in thousands, hundreds of thousands, hopefully millions of other households as well is like that. I think that has to excite you.
Oh yeah, it gets me super excited. I mean, yeah, just I was sharing in your excitement just by hearing that you were curious in some way. I think if you haven't had a chance, if you've recorded on YouTube TV, double back and watch the women's bouldering competition. I think that is an amazing, like, kind of first step to see one, the scale and probably the gap between just high level
Yes.
within a discipline and even the next person, similar to what we referenced so far with like Katie Ledecky,
Yeah.
Sydney McLaughlin. Yanya is the exact same in that space, and she is an amazing athlete. So I would say if you haven't seen that, circle back, because that got my juices flowing, because I'm like, oh, this is so exciting, and like I hope people are seeing this, because even USA women, Brooke Rabideau, amazing athlete. I think she's currently placed in third individual. She's amazing. And it's just a battle between those two right now, and it's just so awesome to watch. So that, and yeah, the sport lead, both men and women, have been really exciting. U.S. unfortunately was not able to get a medal for men's individual. Colin Duffy was fourth. Amazing effort by him in regards to climbing, but U.S. didn't come home with a medal for men's, but he still has an individual that I think he has a great chance for. And yeah, it gets me excited to hear that people are viewing climbing even at this level of competence, I would say growth and development in the sport, and want to kind of see how they can participate even at a local gym or even outside. I'm very curious to see how this competitive space is either going to nudge people outside or nudge them into a gym. I think that's kind of the divide in regards to climbing right now, is like, where is going to be your first entry point? Is it going to be the gym, or is it going to be outdoors? Crazy enough, mine was outdoors. So it's like, how many people are going to take that path? Because sometimes I think going indoors leads you more to competitive climbing, just because you can replicate a wall, and like the training compartments and spaces that you can replicate over and over and over again are built there, while the outdoors, in a perfect scenario, the wall will be the same. We all know that things break. Boulders are adjusted, fluctuated. Environmental impact is natural in regards to shaping the landscape. You can't replicate that. So are people going to find their way to that space or not? So yeah, climbing is, we could talk about climbing for a large amount of time.
Were there other sports that either you hadn't been aware of or that you hadn't seen that was exciting to see, that you were introduced or kind of just like rekindled interest on?
Oh yeah, definitely. Fencing, okay. Yeah. I thought it was cool. Especially the team fencing event. Yeah, I found that so interesting to watch. And like, no joke, whenever I watch it, I was like, I'm just going to Google where the closest fencing place is in Pittsburgh.
And
there's one in the East End, by East End Food Co-op. Yeah, it's in that. It's in that little not shopping center. I don't even know what you would call that. It's in between East End Food Co-op and the back end of the building, which would be that Pivot Physical Therapy. It's right in the center of that. I
did not know that.
Oh yeah,
interesting. Yeah. But I saw riflery was interesting to me.
Oh yeah,
that was just like cool to see. I'm familiar with archery, but always really cool to see it.
Yeah.
The production and the viewing of archery doesn't really do it justice with just how far and at what trajectory and how much margin of error people have for each shot. I thought that was really cool. I already mentioned kayaking. Rowing was really awesome to see in real time as well. So yeah, all of those were like not your mainstream sport. for lack of a better term, with viewing for that. So it was cool. I'm gonna keep digging in with like, if anything's on, I'm watching it live or with like an encore presentation for it. I'm like watching it. So it's like it's a good time. It's like I'm excited for the season that we're in now.
I did also watch a ton of handball.
Oh yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah. There's also a handball league in Pittsburgh.
No joke. Is it in the PSL?
I don't know, but that's off podcast. Yeah.
I watched that and I was like, 8th grade.
Dope. Yeah.
See me in these streets.
Handball's it's a fun sport. Handball,
So much
water
fun.
polo.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
all of it's been awesome. Also, the women's soccer team, as we projected, has looked great. They look fantastic. So yeah. We're moving and grooving. The U.S. is looking really good right now across multiple disciplines and multiple sports. So I love how we look in. The medal count reflects it. So shout out to the USA for all of those things. So yeah, we look great.
Yeah, and I would say a few shout outs in regards to gold medals, or really just a medal that I thought kind of hit home close to us in some capacity. Southern geographic area, I mean, Shakiri, Texas, shout out to Shakiri. Anna Cockrell, North Carolina, Charlotte, shout out to her. There's like 4 other Olympic track runners south, shout out to all of them. I did want to give a shout out to Casey Caffold from Lancaster, PA.
Okay.
Won gold in archery.
Solid. Okay.
Yeah. Her family owns Lancaster Archery, which super nice people.
Okay.
They have a youth program too that she came up
fantastic.
in. It's publicly accessible for individuals that are interested in learning how to shoot a bow. So shout out to her.
Man.
And Evie Lebfar from Bryson City, North Carolina, won bronze in canoe slalom. Shout out to her. Trained at Nantahala Outdoor Center. Shout out to everyone on that.
Great place to train.
Yeah, on that western side of the state. So wanted to make sure to give them some love too.
And to have the Whitewater Olympic Training Center.
In Charlotte.
So that's fantastic. And a Clemson thrower won a medal. So shout out to the Tigers. Along with the Tigers. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
My bad, dog. I should know it. But nonetheless.
And I think his name is Grant Kuntz, I believe, was a cyclist for the indoor cycle in the Velodrome. He went to Clemson as well.
The Tigers.
Yeah. Unfortunately, didn't come out on top, but made an amazing team effort, though. And that was, God, we could get buried in that. Yeah. That was a super fun indoor cycling event, too.
Oh, yeah.
The Eliminator.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's dope. Yeah.
Jeez,
mountain biking, too. Mountain biking was also fantastic as well. Yeah.
Everything. Anything and everything.
Yeah. And I feel like we don't have to belabor this point, but shout out to Simone Biles.
Oh, yeah.
The greatest of all time, quite literally. For that. So
shout out Jordan Childs, too. Yeah.
We could talk for days.
That's 2 Texas babies.
Yeah. We could talk for days about that, but what's understood doesn't have to be said.
Let's talk track and field, all things. Yeah. Warm it up.
Okay. We want to go like my top 5 moments of track and field thus far.
Give it to us.
I'll go from 5 to 1.
Oh.
My number 5. Actually, we'll start with honorable mentions with field events. Field events: Ryan Krauser, Joe Kovacs, shot put, gold, silver. Ryan Krauser is just a legend, so shout out to him for that. Also, the dog, Mondo Duplantis, his continued run and reign, quite honestly, of pole vault was honorable mention because they're all field events, and field events don't really get much love, and they won't here as well. But
well, I do want to say, well, let's give a little bit more love for Joe Kovacs because he made it. He made his last shot put attempt a bronze. Well, was it bronze?
Silver.
A silver medal accomplishment. Like he was literally
Last shot in the rain.
last shot, knocked it out in the rain. Yeah.
The
So
pit was unsafe, but that's another conversation.
yeah.
For that. Yeah. So shout out to him.
So we'll give him more love.
Yeah. Still in the honorable mentions. For 5, I got the guy, Grant Holloway.
Yeah.
110
The
hurdles.
flamingo.
The dog. Number 4, this may be a surprise to you. Number 4, I've got gold for the legend, Noah Lyles in the 100. I got that as my number 4 moment thus far. Shout out to Fred Curley as well for that bronze medal.
Dog.
I think I was more excited for Fred than I was for Noah. Noah's great, but
Yeah.
man, for Fred to pop back after Worlds was just like incredible. So shout out to him for doing that. Also, it's kind of in my same realm of number 4, Kung Fu Kenny, with the silver and the 200. Noah with the COVID diagnosis, but
Yeah.
with bronze in the 200 as well. I would have loved to see him do the double champ. but
Tobogo was cooking.
yeah,
though.
we already Noah healthy. I'm taking him. Like that's the 200 is his. It's his. So him healthy, I would have taken him. But it would have been really cool to see him be the double champ. So shout out to him. For 3rd, I got Quincy's 400 meter.
That's a number 1.
Big dog. No, it's not. The big dog with the 400 meter. That was for his first Olympic debut, to dominate in the qualifying and then to come from behind and just run everyone down for the final in the 400 was impressive.
That was all guts and grills, baby.
Hey, goal fronts were nice. Sticking on that, do we want to go with the lowlights? It's in the same race, Michael Norman.
Yeah.
My
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
man.
That was rough.
That was tough seeing him in the 400 there. I don't really know what it was. I don't know if he wasn't ready, training wasn't right, but he was the guy
Yeah.
in the 400. So to see him perform the way he did, starting in qualifying to the way he was just like,
Yeah.
it made you curious, like what was going on for him for that. The number 2, I got the mixed 400 relay to see the U.S. team just get ran down.
Yeah.
Was wild to me, especially because we broke the record in the semis and then lost in the finals.
Yeah.
To that was just like insane. But to see the anchor 400 leg for I think the Netherlands,
Yeah.
right, was unbelievable.
Yeah.
For that. So you used to run the 400.
I did.
The 400
It's
is
the greatest race. It's
the
a sprint,
races
baby.
where you gotta be a dog to run a 400. So to like see that race come together the way it did in the 4x400 mixed relay was insane. And to see the U.S. team lose after literally breaking the record the day before, 2 days before, in the semis was like.
Well,
what?
I can honestly say I was a little worried when they said when the Netherlands qualified, and I was like, yeah, Spinka Bowl is going to run the final leg. I was like,
She's insane.
it's a whole nother race now.
She is insane. That's like bringing LeBron James off the bench.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, seeing her run everyone down, and then she never broke stride. She was never breaking a moment of intensity. She was finish line. So
that was
she ran a great.
for sure.
She ran a great race.
No, the whole U.S. team ran a great race. It's just like time doesn't lie.
Yeah, you can't beat speed.
So to see that was like insane, and just like the tension from the corner of the 300 on.
Yeah.
Was just like, oh my god. So that I got that as my number 2. And you know what my number 1 is.
Yeah.
It's that get back. It's that 1500 meter U.S. men's Cole and Yared winning gold and bronze. That get back was so sweet.
Yeah.
So to see the guys just compete in that way man, the 1500 meter, to say that that was like my take home event for the track and field for the Olympics this year is saying something, because no one's ever talking about the 1500. No one's talking about, honestly, distance is longer than an 800. No one's really having those conversations. It's not like flashy or buzzy. So to see the energy that it's, and the notoriety that it's been getting thus far was huge, and the field was stacked.
Yeah.
So to see Cole and Yared on the podium for that is unbelievable. And get back is sweet.
Yeah.
So to see Cole out there and to see us just like dominating and really like fighting for that was like huge. So those are my top 5 with an honorable mention. What do you have for your track and field energy to follow? There's a lot of other things that we could say too, but those were just like my highlights.
For the 1500, do you want to chat about your perception of the tactics by Jakob? Like, oh man, I was watching it, and let me just give you my thought. Watching him in prelims and qualifiers, I was like, the gun would go off, he'd wait 2 seconds and then run, and then just run in the back. And I mean, he has the ability to take over a race until the final. But that's
Does he?
Well, does nonetheless, he completely flipped it and was just stretching it out at the final. Do you think that was a sound strategy, or he should have played the background? I mean, Great Britain, I mean, they have an amazing runner too, but I think at that distance, don't you think it's more mental? Everyone's coming in physically primed, I would assume.
Here's the thing. For a final, for this final field, everybody's got a kick.
Yeah.
So
he's trying to drag it out, though, of everyone early.
No, I mean, you can't hold it. So I think he had the right strategy for him. Of course, hindsight's 20/20, so we can always look back and say, like, you could have adjusted here, or you could have went with this race strategy or this race pace, but everybody was giving everything at the finish line. So, I mean, he's got a kick, but he's got to be shoulder to shoulder with the guys that were, like, finishing. I mean, that guy's got a kick.
Mm-hmm.
Cole, obviously, has got a kick. So you got to be shoulder to shoulder with those guys, or even just, like, close, you know, throughout. And knowing that you got something left to spend, or that you're willing to spend things that you don't have, you know. So I think his strategy was good. He just got beat.
Yeah,
that's just how it is throughout. But I mean, that's also shows just the margin of error. Like, he's not like a slouch of a runner.
No.
Nor like, well, he could deserve to be on the podium, you know. So that's just the margin of error, especially within a final for a 1500 meter in which everyone's got a legit shot, which is different for that race. There were like 5 to 6 guys that you're like, he's got a shot, he can win this thing. And for the sleeper of them all, for Cole to be the guy, you know, to win gold, and was huge throughout. So again, that's just like the energy that I think the 1500 brought this year, which made it like the racer's race. This year, you know. Otherwise, in pretty much all the other races that we've highlighted and talked about already, it was like, yeah, this person may have snuck up on someone else, or like, yeah, this person just like dominated. Like everyone else that I talked about won by like a margin.
Yeah.
Outside of the 100. But everyone else, like this 1500 there were some dogs out there.
For sure.
Which made me excited. I'm like excited for distance running. The energy that just recreational running has been that's been shown throughout has been incredible. To see it on the Olympic stage with competition of 1500, the 5K, and the 10K, just further exacerbates that. So I'm like amped for running. So like all the energy that you had surrounding climbing, I'm like matching that for distance running for this point in time. So it's good. I'm loving where the sport is right now, and I'm excited to see us bring home some medals in the 1500 especially.
For sure. Yeah. In watching Cole during Eugene for I guess the qualifier.
Yep, World Games.
I would have never thought.
National Games. Yeah.
Just by the way, I guess, not as deeply involved in running as you, all of the marketing had it as a 2-person race, which is like, that's like the underdog story that I think is so, it's so exciting. It's like,
that's what I'm so excited for him.
Yeah. Because, I mean, literally everything from Nike commercials, having Jakob just like staring people down while he's blowing by them, to now it coming to reality.
Mm-hmm.
Race is over. The 2 top dogs that were second top dog, Fisher got second, but like, the race that individuals expected actually didn't turn into that race, and it was actually more exciting due to that. So like, I was excited to see that. Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the top moments for me, just because of the surprise.
Yeah. And Diamond League, spin back to Diamond League next year, because these guys are going to be fighting again.
Yeah.
As well. So that's the beauty of, sports that we highlight with like climbing and with especially with endurance running, and in this kind of capacity, it's you spin back next year and we toe the same line.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting for us. Same of which for sport climbing as well. Like we hit the same problem again, or a different problem, but we're both facing the same one. And we'll see who can get to the top.
For sure.
Throughout. So it's got me amped. I'm excited for it. I'm just excited.
Yeah.
That give back is so sweet. That's why I'm so smiling. So I'm amped for Cole. I'm amped for the U.S. And that was just huge. So we'll keep the rivalry going.
Yeah.
Across, and there'll be more fires in the coming year for that. So it's in a good space.
Definitely.
What things did I miss though? Because I feel like you probably had some things track and field related to.
I think you actually got them all, to be honest with you. I was excited to see Anna Cockrell win in some fashion. Yeah. I mean, silver, that was amazing for her. The 4x1 as it wrapped up today, that gives away our timing of the episode, but like Sha'Carri, I think the level of excitement you have for seeing Cole Hocker win is probably the same level of excitement I have to see Sha'Carri win and like dominate. That 4x1, that 4x1 relay, her finishing.
She was cooking.
That is dominance. And coming home with silver in the 100, especially based off of the circumstances. Like, I don't want to be blind to that in regards to some level of discomfort that she had to go through based off of Olympic committee changes.
Yep.
That's a huge feat. So seeing her win again is exciting to me. Like, what she's been through, I guess, the past 6 years, like,
it was the last Olympic game.
Yeah, like,
Yep.
That's just it.
She silenced the doubters, which was exciting.
No doubt, and
but I think she's got more in the clip for those that are talking in the back. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think she definitely, she's still got it. She has still got it, and I'm encouraged to see additional athletes that are right on the cusp. I feel like that in the running space, they just need more time to develop, and they will be potentially superstars or champions for the U.S.
Okay.
So 2028, hope Jamaica comes in fully loaded so we can actually get the full understanding. I don't think Shelly Ann will be back because
no.
That'll be tough. But like,
she'll be like 40. Yeah.
Sharika Jackson, I think Thompson Harrod will be there. I think they're both.
They also had someone that podiumed.
Yeah. I'm interested to see them go up against who I expect to be one of the best U.S. women track sprinters on home turf in the U.S. Knowing that, sign me up. I'm going 2028. Like, I think Americans will show up in hopes of
for sure
cheering USA men's basketball to USA climbing to sprinters to distance runners. Like, US is going to show up and show out there. So I'm excited to see all of those things. And yeah, Sha'Carri, I'm just happy to see your win.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. That was awesome. I hope to see Sharika. Sharika is one of my favorite sprinters.
Yeah.
So I want to see her back. I think that it just makes for good sport for her to be back in that way. So get back. We'd love to see you 2028.
I'm completely blanking on the woman's name who won the 100 meter, but shout out to her. I mean, winning the first gold medal, the first medal for her country, and being gold.
Yeah, she was cooking though, so she'll be there for a while.
Yeah,
yeah,
she was flying. Shout out to her.
Yeah, I forgot.
Great race.
Yeah.
And showed a ton of like emotion and enjoyment for what she was able to accomplish, knowing again the amount of effort, training, intention, connection to community that she experienced and it coming to reality. So shout out to her.
Yeah.
Alfred, that's her last name.
Yeah.
I forgot
Man,
her.
your memory's great.
The recall.
Mine is not. Random question. 2028, flag football approaching. You get your first overall pick. Who are you taking?
Flag football?
2020. Have you seen the rules? It's 5-on-5.
Well, I'm thinking of like who's young right now that'll still be in the NFL kind of cooking at that point. My first thought is like Justin Jefferson, but he'll be probably like 26, 27. Yeah, I'll probably say
he'll
Justin.
Still be a dog.
Yeah. Jamar Chase too though, because like he a dog in space.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you that.
That one's hard because the quarterback can't really like cook the way that you expect them to cook.
Unless you're Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's true.
He can just run, period.
Yeah.
So
that's hard. But I feel like skill players, if it's a draft, you have to take a receiver top.
Give me Travis Hunter.
No. Shout out to Travis Hunter. I can't wait to see him in.
But I will say mine would be Justin Jefferson. Period.
Yeah.
He's the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right, that's my random question for you for the day. What's upcoming for you as we kind of pivot over, unless you got anything else for Olympic talk?
Well, I
we'll
do
have a full recap coming soon.
Yeah. Well, I want to speak it into existence. I'm excited to hopefully see the U.S. beat France at 3:30 Saturday, August 10th, for the USA Men's Championship game. I'm feeling very confident in
I feel great about that.
What we were able to pull off. France is not a slouch though. They've got a really good team. Ntilikina, Wemby, obviously. Like
Ntilikina? Who's he guarding?
Come on. I mean, that's a good point, but like, who's guarding Wemby though? You know?
Yeah.
Like, we clearly have 9, 10.
Put Gobert in.
He's a starter.
Christmas.
He's a starter though.
Oh, we're gonna cook him.
Well, he's going to be, if they put
Embiid?
Embiid in, it'll be an interesting matchup.
And then Anthony Davis, and I'll take AD.
Well, we've seen that Embiid, Gobert
can't guard in
right
space.
now. We've seen them like tussle already. So
Gobert can't guard in space.
I'm excited to see that.
AD, corner, mid-range, off the dribble.
It's going to be a good game.
Yeah. I think we got too much perimeter shooting. We've got too many creators.
Yeah.
But you can't camp in the middle. You can stand there. But we got too many shooters.
I think it'll be a mid-range game. That's my expectation. I think we've been defending.
I like us.
We've been defending three, and we've been defended against on the 3-point line pretty well. Serbia, all things considered, they guarded us pretty well on the 3. Mm-hmm. We just heated up at the 4th. We were giving away threes. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say giving them away, but they were knocking them down.
Yeah.
Bogdanovich was just crushing. So
until he started talking to Melo, and Melo was like,
"Hey,
don't do that."
Yeah, hey.
Braun went into overdrive.
Thank God.
I think
we almost let one get away.
My last thing that I'll say about this is that Drew Holiday is going to have Ntilikina in shambles.
I I mean, I'm cheering for the U.S. I'm just like very interested to see these matchups. I'm like,
You heard it live and direct.
I'm not gonna jump out and then
Well,
I learned my
had-
lesson on 3 on
you have
3.
some strong takes, but I feel good about the transference of Drew Holiday's defense that can travel from stadium to stadium. So I feel pretty good
This
about
is
that.
true. Defense does travel.
Yeah. Hard pivot. What's upcoming for expeditions and travel for you?
Yeah. I'm getting into what I'm considering like my peak training season, starting really next week, the end of next week. So for me, I'm training to summit Aconcagua in November, December-ish, which is one of the 7 tallest summits. Well, it's actually one of the 7 summits if you're going for a Grand Slam or anything of that sort. Highest in South America, that's going to be in Argentina. It's roughly 22,000 feet. Super excited to go for that. So I'm training for that now. I have a lot of different traveling trips that I'm going to be testing out a few different systems, but also just getting above Alpine, which is going to be exciting, 16,000 feet and above, which I'm excited to continue and kind of push the limits on. Everything is copacetic right now. I feel good. My training outside of the mountain has been really positive, doing a lot of different things to, improve VO2 max in some capacity, but also, I would say more like grunt work, just like long endurance, capacity-based work to be able to haul all my gear and get up a mountain that, in the grand scheme of things, saying respectfully, it's a non-technical mountain, but can never disrespect the earth or nature in that fashion and go in with an expectation that you're greater than, more than, or able to conquer all things. So I'm training as if it's Everest in my mind, because up to date, that will be the tallest mountain for me. So excited to kind of get after it, to be honest.
Nice.
I'm approaching it in a few different ways. One that's just excited to share in nature and like experience a personal challenge, but also inspiring, the youth that I work with, the community that I engage in more directly, not just it being Southwestern Pennsylvania, but really the whole East Coast that I connect and collaborate with, but also just kind of give gratitude for everything that I've received in regards to, like our upbringing in the outdoors. So excited to share all of those stories, my expedition details, things that I'm learning through my website. For Session in Progress is the website. My social channels that has its own expedition kind of branding, which has been fun. And then stuff that I'm learning on the trail, which will be good. So
Nice.
yeah.
Game on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quite like interested in experiencing the moments of like learning, whatever it may be, whether it be learning more about the mountains or alpine or just like the tactile things that I'm feeling and experiencing on the mountain, but just learning how to kind of let go, experience some things, take things day by day, which is like the mountain lifestyle. When you're on the mountain, like you go in with this preconceived notion that you're going to be able to summit in this timeline. You might not even summit. You might have to stay at, base camp for 6 days compared to 2. Like, I'm just excited to kind of go by the wind, which is relaxing to me, because I think kind of carrying into the wind is going to be encouraging as a kind of metaphor for life as I move forward. Like, don't push against things too heavily. Sometimes there's a reason or an intention that you're being blown in that direction. So excited to experience all of those things.
Let's go get it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
When's that coming?
So expedition is late November, early December. That's I won't give the specific dates, but it's during that time frame. Nice. Training stuff is quasi starting late next week, but really ramps off the following week. And then pretty much either every week or every other week, I'm flying somewhere in the woods, doing something that people may consider crazy. So
Crazy's relative.
Yeah. So with that being said, I will be in the Pacific Northwest in the next few weeks, which I'm excited to go back. Cascades feel like home, man.
Oh,
It's
nice.
It's going to be my 4th visit in the Cascade Range, climbing and doing all the fun stuff. So
That's awesome.
excited for that.
Yeah, that place is great.
Yeah.
Cool. Good that you're spinning back and prepping and all things feel good.
Yeah.
Before things really ramp up for you. So
Yeah.
'tis the season for training and preparation.
Yeah. Tell me about it. What's going on with you? You got a race coming up. I think you had referenced one.
I'm gonna run all
Phoenix? Was it Phoenix?
No, I'm gonna run all the Pittsburgh races throughout. So that'll be my upcoming. Will be Great Race and 10-miler will be my upcoming, and then High Rocks in Chicago in November. So that'll be kind of like my training, so to speak. That's upcoming. Otherwise, Labor Day going back to Brevard, which will be great. Spending a week there, which will be awesome, just to unplug, hit some of the old faithfuls throughout. So Pinnacle will be hiked during then.
Right on.
Smokies will be driven through. What else are we gonna do? We'll go back to Western and Max Patch, of course, which is still one of my faves. So yeah, we'll be doing all of the above. Probably mountain bike a couple of days down there, and probably get out on the water, maybe raft a couple of times. So it's just going to be every day. Will be something new in the name of outdoor recreation during that time. So that'll be good. Unplug, take the camera, relax,
Sweet.
capture some moments with the pup and with Lex. But that'll be good. That'll be it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, whenever I was back in the Ville, I knocked out Max Patch and Pinnacle, and you got to give Pinnacle an alpine start, like in the dark, and then just walk up for sunrise.
I've done the reverse, unfortunately, several times. Oh man, talk about rolled ankles.
Get you some headlamps. I did it, and it was incredible.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so much fun.
It's a beautiful place.
Breaking through the clouds. So
beautiful place for sure. Nothing like Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
Partial to it, but
Yeah.
it's a beautiful place. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That'll be good.
So that's the next adventure. What you getting into this weekend?
Weekend, I'm fulfilling some civic duties by volunteering and a number of different things.
Thank you for that.
Time stamping. So Kickball for a Cause, great fundraiser for many nonprofits here in Pittsburgh region, and all throughout the sport of recreation and kickball for that. So I'll be volunteering for that. I'll probably get out on my bike or run sometime as well. Preseason football starts. So it's like a really good time for me.
Yeah.
Football, Olympics, Steelers are playing right now. Yeah, so I'm just a little bit of everything over the weekend. What about you?
Yeah, this weekend I'm going to bike this weekend. I'm going to knock out it's called the Babington 50 route.
Okay.
It's right by Hillman State Park.
Okay.
And it's just 50 miles. Also, I think it's 40 or 50% gravel. It may be even less than that. Sorry, I may be overestimating, maybe 30%. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to do a little alpine start there too. So catch the sunrise on the bike while I'm out there. And that will be most of Saturday. Plan on doing something outside Sunday, probably climbing if possible. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, this weekend looks really promising in southwestern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It'll be nice.
So, yeah.
Cool, literally.
Yeah.
Throughout. So, yeah, it'll be good. It's a good weekend. Fall is in the air, cooler temperatures. Feels great. Yeah.
Feels that way. Yeah, cool. Well, next podcast, our every 2-week process, I won't be here. So we will be taking 4 weeks off. So you'll hear from us in 4 weeks whenever this podcast comes out. So don't think that we're missing in action. Everyone's just traveling. Like I said, I got the training stuff that I have to do. But excited to come back with great stories, great guests. I hope you enjoyed the last episode and tap in with us soon. Peace.
Till next time.